Yeah. Liverpool versus everybody. The starting 11 is confirmed. Before I go into it, most of you already know about this point, what the lineup is, but this is not really surprising to see some of these changes. Maybe not to see Shakiri in. You saw he brought on Lalana. He brought on Alberto Moreno. You never know with Klopp if that just means he's saving these guys for this game, for the Arsenal game. I think the guys that he is resting, more so defensively, are guys that probably need rest. Joe Gomez needs some rest. He does. He needs some rest. Robertson needs rest. So there's been a lot of talk about how kind of negative we are towards Alberto Moreno and this idea that he's actually a really good backup left back. I think there's some truth to that. I mean, it could be worse. I still think we need to, going forward, get someone else. Nothing against Alberto Moreno. But anyway, as the lineup goes, Allison obviously in goal. James says, anyway, I can understand why he's resting players, but it's not like we're playing a whole team in the Champions League group stage. Yeah, it's true. Mercy says, I'm sick. I'm sick of him. Yeah, James, I don't know if I've seen you around, so welcome. But yeah, listen, Allison's in goal. Alberto Moreno, of course, left back. We have Virgil van Dijk. We have Lovren, and we have Trent. So again, Gomez gets his rest. Robertson gets his rest. I knew what you meant, James. Midfield, good to see Fab and Genie back again. I don't know if they're going to do the 4-2-3-1 or is this 4-3-3. We'll see. I'm willing to bet that it's probably 4-2-3-1. 4-2-1-3, however you want to say it. Lalana is not as dynamic as Shaqiri at this point of his career. The bench is just as good though, so I feel like here's the thing: you want to give some guys some run out. If it's not working, you have somebody you can go to the bench. But I mean, listen, this again, I keep saying it. Even when we're not playing our strongest team, you want to continue to see what the squad can do with different players together. You want to see how Lalana and Fab and Genie, at least I do, you want to see how they go. You want to see how Alberto Moreno looks next to Van Dyke. You know what I mean? It's there's an argument to be made. Alberto could be sitting back saying, "Well, Robertson has got a lot of time with Van Dyke and with those other back three and the back four, back five with the goalkeeper. He hasn't, not consistently anyway. So let's see. Let's see. I mean, you never know. You never know what can happen. I don't think it's safe to always assume that if he's in the game, we're gonna have issues. Let's get behind the team. Let's be optimistic. Hope for the best. So yeah, and then the front three is the front three: Salah, Firmino, and Mane. So it's good to see Mane back in again, and hopefully he can pick back up from where he, I can say, left off in the Champions League game. I don't think he was amazing. He did get a goal. He had a chance to get at least one or two other ones. One he should have probably passed it, and the other was the missed penalty. So he could have easily had a hat trick, and Salah maybe could have as well. So let's see what we can do. I think Klopp obviously knows the team he's playing against and probably feels like this is probably the best way to get at them. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm quite happy Lalana is playing. Sorry about my spelling. James, don't need to apologize, man. I am not a spelling teacher, so it's all good. Mercy, I hope Mane bangs at least two. Yeah, I said Salah three, but now that I think about it, I feel like they're gonna really, really try to jam Salah up physically, and just tactically, trying to put bodies on him, even with playing kind of a low block team. Because I think they're more like a 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1. They're they're going to be very, very defensive. I mean, if you talk to the fans of Cardiff, they disagree. They haven't parked the bus all season, so they say. But this is Liverpool, and I can't imagine them being wide open like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Jason, I would have rested one of the front three. Yeah, I mean, I think what Klopp is seeing is that you're hoping to get all of them on the score sheet in the last game against Red Star. You want to see if they can continue that. You want to get that consistency from them. Listen, at the end of the day, Arsenal is definitely there's obviously one eye on that game, and so yeah, you would say maybe you rest one of the three, but listen, it is what it is. I'm happy about the lineup, to be honest. Nicole, what's up? Hi, guys. Game day. Yes, indeed. Sad not to see Shaq in the lineup. Yeah, I wouldn't say sad. I mean, listen, I'm still kind of mixed on Shakiri. As much as I like to see him start a lot of games, I also like to have that option off the bench. I think he's one of the only players off the bench that you can really see a spark from. What I mean, he just has all this energy, man. And I don't know. I'm torn on that. I mean, I'm not sad. I get what you're saying, but I can kind of have it one way or the other because he's such a phenomenal player starting, it looks like, and also coming off the bench. So I'm not too upset about that. I do want to continue to see Lallana though, whether it's off the bench, whether it's I'm okay with him starting because I want to see what he can do on an extended amount of game time. So either way, I think we're fine. Not great to see Lallana. I think his time is done. Yeah, you're probably right, Martin. You're probably right. But I disagree in the fact that I don't know if his time is done. I just don't. I probably should be saying the same thing, but I just don't know. From the glimpses I've seen of him, he's been okay. You know what I mean? He's been better than I would have imagined. So if that's the level and he can maybe slightly raise that a bit, look, I'm not expecting, the world to shift with Lallana in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting a lot. And so that's why I feel like not having no expectations can allow you to maybe enjoy him a bit more. But we'll see. Let's pay attention to Lallana today and see what he actually can offer for us. Another game that will be harder than we think. I agree, Mercy. I agree. Those first 20 to 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, we'll really get to see what we can get at this team. And I think if we go up 2-0, 3-0, whatever the case may be, even 1-0 against this team, at the end of the day, I keep saying, even though we have Alberto in the back with Lovren, two players who everyone has different opinions about, I still think this defense, with that goalkeeper, with Virgil still there, that we still can keep guys from getting to our net. So I'm not, and that's the thing. That's why I don't really panic and it feels good to have this feeling of, look, we're going into these games, and if we got Virgil and we got Allison, I'm just not really bothered about conceding. So it's really about getting the goals early and seeing if we can just push on that way. Mame, what's up? Their defense is very slow to be ready for a deep line. Yeah. I mean, I think so as well. I mean, they're definitely going to play deep. I can't see any other way. Nicole, yes, I want Monty to top score. I'm not mad at that. William, what's up? What would it take for Moreno to gain your trust? Listen, I think Moreno is Moreno. There's not much more we're going to see from him. You know what I mean? I really don't think at this point he can get any better. I think he's what he is. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times when you look at him and Robertson, obviously he's not on Robertson's level, right? And I think the thing we like about Robertson is that we can trust him. He doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes. So, we know Alberto can move forward. We know that he can go forward. He's got some pace on him. Defensively is where we tend to have, kind of panic moments. But I think, again, playing next to Virgil, naturally that's going to inspire him. Having Virgil in his ear, having Virgil kind of and even Genie on that side. Genie's vice captain now with Milner and Hendo out, and Virgil van Dijk is the captain, which I think is amazing. So you got the two Dutch guys really helping him. Even Fabinho, I think he'll be fine today. Gain my trust. He more or less has it. I mean, I don't. When I see him in the lineup, of course, I'm not always like, oh, great, he's playing today. But at the same time, I trust Klopp, and I think he has enough around him to have a decent game today. That's what I think. So I don't really know if it's about gaining my trust. Really, I mean, he is what he is, and that's it. Martin, Moreno, and Trent is fine for this game. Attacking wingbacks versus part. Yeah, I don't listen. This could be a game where Alberto Moreno really enjoys his football. Let's think the best. You know what I mean? I know it's not always easy, but let's just think the best. If he reverts back to old Moreno, it's like, okay, we kind of know that could happen. But, before the game, I don't want to beat him up too bad or have doubts, honestly. Jason, at least we have a whole week of prep before Arsenal. Yeah, and that's the key. That's a great point, Jason. Thanks for the reminder. Yes, it is. And that's the game that we're all looking forward to. I think I personally look forward to every game because you get to watch Liverpool. But obviously these big matchups, and all of a sudden this is a big matchup. I didn't really see this coming after the first games for Arsenal, but to their credit, they played City and Chelsea to start out with. So that's not the easiest first couple of fixtures. They've been on an 11-game win streak, all competitions, so should be good. But yeah, Cardiff is today. We got to focus on each game at a time. So yeah, James, if I was going to rest our front players, I'd play Big Shaq up front. Yeah, I think a lot of people would say that. I think a lot of people, look, get used to seeing these lineups and being like, oh, we're doing that. Klopp, it's his third full season. He's learning about different things you got to do. It's a long, hard season, man. It's a long, hard season, and you can see we haven't pressed as much as we used to. You can see we're not necessarily getting the goals, but I think his mentality is let's try to control games. Let's get a goal and then just, we're good because I trust our defense is what Klopp is thinking, I think. So, I think there's obviously some different things working here. Is it because of Buvac not being there? Maybe. Is it because he just thinks, look, to win this league, there's some things that I have to just sacrifice, and that might be the heavy metal football all the time. So I would have loved to see Shaq as well, but I'm not too disappointed. To hear what's up, brother. Good to see you. Just saw the lineup. I'm okay with it considering it's Cardiff. Yeah, even though it won't be totally easy, Lalana still has a lot to prove. He does. Klopp has one eye on Arsenal, like you said. Yeah. For next week, you'd like to think Gomez will replace Trent rather than Lovren. Yeah, probably, which I'm okay with too. Yeah. Gomez needs a rest either way. Fab starts. That's all I really wanted out of this selection. Not worried about Shaqiri, and he adjusted to the team a lot more as he's adjusted. Yeah. The Fab for me, between the two, you wanted to see Fab. We've seen less than Shaqiri, probably just barely, but I think Fab is a guy you want to see. Like, okay, he came in second half, Huddersfield looked really good, I thought, and you wanted to see that continue to Red Star. It did. And you want to see another game. Let's see if he can do three in a row where he comes in, he looks comfortable, he's getting in. Now, this is the Premier League, so some of the tackles he was putting in that Red Star, I don't know. I tend to think that referee was very, very lenient for us in a lot of ways. The two penalties, we got a lot of calls going our way. I don't know the last time we've experienced something like that. But Fabinho needs to really kind of play within himself, be who he is. But I would have hoped that Klopp would have been in his ear, or Pep lenders in his ear, say, look, some of these tackles, try to time them a bit better. Play your game. It's hard to really even say try to time them better because it's fast paced and you're just playing. You don't want to think too much. But it'd be interesting to see how the ref calls some of these tackles. But yeah, hopefully a nice 3-0-4 victory. Let's get it. Yeah, that's fine with me too. Mercy, Moreno is useless. He can't attack and he can't defend. Yeah, listen, you leave it up to some people. They would say he was doing both of those things at a high level early in the season before Robertson replaced him. So, look, I'm going to think positive about him. I think he can do those things. He hasn't always done them consistently. He obviously can do them. You know what I mean? So let's just hope he does them at a high level today. That's all we can really do. Now that we got the defense and the goalkeeper sorted out, where do you think is the weakest part of our team? Weakest part of our team is Nicole. Good question. I don't really know if we have any weaknesses. I really don't. As I said before, left back to me, someone much more improved on Alberto. While Alberto is there, I'm fine to have him. I have no other choice but to be. And then maybe another attacking player. I do worry about Mane and Salah. Obviously, they've been really, really good as far as injuries throughout their Liverpool career, but you never know with that. Firmino, of course. We got Sturridge coming for that. You can put Shaqiri up there, but I think maybe another attacking player, maybe a 10. I guess. I don't know if that's. We really got to see what Shaqiri is going to do for us long term, what Lallana can bring for us long term, what Naby can do as far as carrying the ball. So honestly, to me, there's no weaknesses. I really don't think there's any weaknesses, and I think a lot of times we've blown some things out of proportion of how the season has started out. So I hope that answered your question. Matt, Mane going to have a hard time covering for Moreno. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. At the end of the day, football's not always easy. We make it sometimes harder than we need to. I don't think it would be hard. I think Mane enjoys the defensive part of the game. Any chance that he can get the ball to his feet, which could be stealing the ball from the opponent to maybe get a goal or get an assist for another teammate, is something I think they all relish. I think in a Klopp system, you have to enjoy it or be a good actor and act like you enjoy it because you're not going to play unless you do. So, again, Genie's there. Fab's there. Whoever's closer to that left side, I think we'll be fine. I think, again, as Dahir said earlier, we're playing against Cardiff, all due respect to them, but it's not a game where you feel like you need to really panic. They're not really going to offer anything down that side, in my opinion, that you really need to worry about. I think that's what Klopp is thinking. Let me get Robertson some rest in a game like this where the opposing team is not going to really offer much. So I don't have to really worry about, or too much worry about, maybe not being amazingly solid on that side defensively. I think we're good. Let's not worry too much about it. So the game will be on here shortly. I thought it was 10:30 here. It's 10. So yeah, excited about it. I'm not bothered by the lineup at all. I've said it a long time ago. You'll never see me flip flop on that. I'm happy what Klopp decides. Again, he sees his team week in, week out, every day. He knows who's maybe not fit to play, who needs a rest, who deserves to play, and he's spoken about that almost after every game. There's guys who are fighting hard to get in this team, but because he feels like he's got players there that are not even necessarily better, but fit a certain system for a certain game. It's all about matchups. And I don't think it's ever anything personal. I think it's just this is the best team I think can win the game. And so far, I mean, can we point to a time where he didn't get it right necessarily. So at this season, I mean, so I mean, look, it is what it is. Let's hope for all the guys to you know, Lovren, Lalana to step up today. You know, it's a game against Cardiff. It could be a bit more frustrating than we think. But again, we get the goals early. I think we're good, and maybe we don't even need to see a Shaqiri, for example. So, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the most I think we've had for a confirmed 11. So, thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for tuning in, and let's be optimistic. See you guys at halftime.